in spooks. Today's video is a science experiment, and the experiment is this. Are TikTok sensations actually sensational? In today's video, I will be reading Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. I have seen so many booktubers, booktalkers talking about this book. Even though I am not on this side of the algorithm, I'm still seeing this book pushed everywhere. So I was curious to make my own opinions, make my own decisions, and take matters into my own hands and give this a read. Before I started reading this book and before I actually looked into it to see what it was about, the only things I knew about this was that it was a toxic romance and that Katie Colson loved it. I mean, loved it. So I had conflicting opinions here. Katie Colson, I trust her opinion. So if she likes this book, I think I'm gonna like it too. But a toxic romance? I don't really read much straight romance, or romance at all at the best of times, let alone a toxic romance. And I actually hate when we're supposed to root for a couple and they're toxic, so I thought this was going to be a hate read. You'll have to wait and see what my opinion was. But when I actually did do some research, I discovered that this book followed a group of London socialites, and they are all rich, okay? And they have this close-knit friendship group where they are just problematically intertwined with one another's lives. And the story itself follows main characters Magnolia Parks and BJ Ballantyne, and they are friends to lovers to best friends to I don't even know what half the time. There are just a myriad of issues and a myriad of dramas in between. But I am coming to you from the future. I have, as you can see, already read this book, so I already know what my thoughts are. But let's travel back in time and go on this reading journey together. Wish me luck. Pre-warning, this is going to be spoiler filled. Okay.
Wanna be free of this heart, yeah. Wanna feel your arms around me. I need you more, need you here, more than I would like to admit. Let's forget about tomorrow, yeah. Should I hide away forever? Should I close my eyes and never again hold you tight, call you mine, think about you every time? I remember that it's over, yeah. You never break, you never lie, you never ever scared of the dark. So why am I the one who cries? I'm so afraid to be left behind. I think about you a lot, it's almost like I can't stop, yeah. You never lose an argument, so I've been trying hard to pretend that I'm okay. It's just a phase, and everything is going just great. I think about you a lot, it's almost like I can't stop, yeah. I always knew that this would happen, yeah. You would find a new distraction. I need you more, need you here, more than I would like to admit. Can we let go of tomorrow? Yeah. You never break, you never lie, you never ever scared of the dark. So why am I the one who cries? I'm so afraid to be left behind. I think about you a lot, it's almost like I can't stop, yeah. You never lose an argument, so I've been trying hard to pretend that I'm okay. It's just a phase, and everything is going just great. I think about you a lot, it's almost like I can't stop, yeah. About hypnotized me into a trance, thinking I really had a chance. But I woke up on my own. The world keeps on spinning round. I'm planting my feet flat on the ground. Living is all that I can do, and keeping on pulling through. Everything changed so suddenly. How come everyone saw it but me? No wonder it broke my heart in two. I'm left here without a clue, but I'm looking up and forward. Nobody can take away what I've learned. How to be brave when there's no return. Oh yeah, I feel like there's something new, something in the air, some point of view that's made me believe that I have a chance to make things right. No, everything changed so suddenly. How come everyone saw it but me? No wonder it broke my heart in two. I'm left here without a clue, but I'm looking up and forward. Nobody can take away what I've learned. How to be brave when there's no return. Do-do-do-do-do, yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm going to give you a full update on my thoughts soon, but I just wanted to come in here real fast with a prediction. Okay, so fair warning, this is potentially spoilers, I guess. So Magnolia is out with Tom and his family, and Clara, who is Tom's sister-in-law, although she's widowed, so Tom's brother died, and Clara still comes to family events, obviously, because, you know, she is in England, she's part of the family. And I was a little bit suspicious because at one point Tom and Magnolia kiss and they're with, and it says, "It's only when he pulls away and I see Clara watching, his mouth on mine, and inside her eyes I watch a peculiar jealousy bloom." And at first I was like, oh, she's jealous because her love has died. But then further down the page, Tom says, "Oh, I'll drive you back home to Magnolia," and Clara says, "Oh, I was hoping I could grab a lift." And then there's a strange pause. And so Magnolia's like, "Don't worry about it, I've got a car here, no stress." I'm paraphrasing that part. And then Tom's like, "You do?" Tom asks, maybe a bit too eagerly. And I haven't even turned the page yet, so I don't know where this is going. But it just sounds a little bit like Tom also wants to spend one-on-one time with Clara. And it seems like Clara also wants to spend one-on-one time with Tom. And I don't know if I'm just assuming things because, I mean, this is the love of her life's brother, so there's probably some similarities there. So I don't know whether that's hurtful or comforting, or she could like him, I don't know. Okay, I'm going to carry on reading now, but that's my prediction. Okay, I'm calling it here first, page 171. I think that Clara and Tom will end up together. Okay.
A few moments later.
Okay, I'm back because I'm obviously a genius. It's like 3 pages later, and Magnolia is mad at Tom, and she's saying that he obviously needs, like, they call it a foxhole, and I've never heard that expression before. I guess it's like the straight version of a beard, but that's what I'm assuming they mean by that. So they have this fake relationship, which is frustrating, by the way, because fake dating is one of my favourite romance tropes, but I'm assuming they're not going to end up together, so it's like a little bit less exciting, because I'm rooting for Magnolia and BJ, obviously, which I assume is what we're supposed to be rooting for. But anyway, she says, "You need a foxhole too," because she is saying, like, there's obviously something going on with you and your brother's wife, and he said, "It's complicated." Oh, yeah, and then Tom says, "I'm in love with her." I'm in love with her. This is so interesting. And here's another prediction for page 174 before I turn. I imagine that Magnolia is going to feel really jealous about this, even though she is only dating him to keep BJ like placated, basically. And I think that she's probably going to have feelings about her fake boyfriend having real feelings for someone.
12 seconds later.
Oh wait, were you hang you on? See, were you jealous, he asks, when you found out I kissed her? I feel embarrassed, blah blah, yes. But you mustn't read into that. I'm quite possessive and renowned for being a terrible sharer. She's so funny. I actually love her.
Hey, I try my best to talk to you, tell you about the things I like to do. You know your smile is lighting up the room, up the room. Do you always look this beautiful? Can I kiss you when the night is through? Because right now it's all I wanna do, wanna do. Lipstick left a mark on my cheek, so I keep thinking of you. Whoa, you wanna do it again, you wanna do it again sometime. Whoa, can I see you again, can I see you again sometime? If you'll be standing by your door, I'll pick you up at 8. I said, whoa, you wanna do it again, you wanna do it again.
I've got so much to say. I'm honestly so excited to do this update. I am on page 212, which is... Wait, no I'm not. Am I? Yes I am. Which I would say is probably exactly halfway. I'm trying not to look for any spoilers. 430 pages. Yeah, so I'm pretty much exactly 50% of the way through Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. Oh, have I got some big feelings and big opinions. Look at all my tabs first of all. Stop looking at my face. We are colour coordinated. So, we have a system. The system is purple means, oh, this is heckin' romantic. As you can see, there's quite a few purple tabs. Pink is, this is heckin' hilarious. Again, there's quite a few. The peachy coloured is more like a, oh, this is very telling of this person's character. And blue is, oh, this is sad. This is really sad. I really should write what they are, but I'm so scared. I don't want to write on the book, but also I can't find my marker where I usually write on the tabs because they're like that, you know, waterproof feeling. Anyway, let me tell you about my feelings. I have so many of them. First of all, why do I love this? When I picked this up, I was like, I'm gonna hate it. I'm gonna hate it. Because all I've really heard about it is that it is a toxic romance. And toxic romances usually do not fly with me. But the second I started reading, these are obviously, I say obviously, like everybody knows this book because I feel like everyone does. But if you don't, it follows a group of rich kids in London. I say kids, they're past university age, I think. So everything's legal, we're all good. And they are like the elite. And they have a very tight-knit fan family type friendship group. And there is just like everybody sleeping with each other, everyone falling out with each other, but they're like ride or die best friends. And you know what it is? It's Gossip Girl. It is literally a British Gossip Girl. And the main characters are Blair and Chuck. And I imagine this is not the first time this has been said because it's so obvious, but I love it. I love it. It's crazy. I'm so hooked on these characters. It's wild. So the main character is Magnolia Parks, and she is, I want to protect her with my life, like at all costs. She is so sweet and hurt, and she has so much love to give, but she also takes no shit. And I love her for that, because originally I was like, oh, this is what I assume, I'm halfway through, is going to be man cheated on woman, but woman goes back to him. And I was like, I don't like that, but I'm rooting for them. I am rooting for them. And she's not being walked over, she's not a doormat, she is feisty, and she is so funny. I'm gonna read you some quotes that I've tabbed, not all of them obviously, because that's intense, in a minute, but let me first of all tell you about BJ. Don't like that that's his nickname. No, hate that so much. But for the purpose of the book, we will call him BJ, that is his name. I think his name's Baxter. but he's never referred to as Baxter, maybe once so far. So we'll say BJ. I think even his parents call him BJ. But anyway, BJ is the one who did the cheating, and we hate him for that, but also can't help but love him. He's like one of those lovable rogues. Why is that? And look, I too am a human being, funnily enough. I'm not AI, and people make mistakes. I do get that. Do I think that if she gave him a second chance, he would do this again? No. And if this series proves me wrong, I'll be pissed. But I genuinely think he has learned from his mistakes and wants to be with her. But I do think he has some problems, because the fact that he just keeps sleeping around, even though he's trying to win her back, I don't really know what that's all about, BJ. But it is, yeah, toxic. Because he sleeps with other people to hurt her, and she has like these endless streams of boyfriends that she doesn't actually sleep with, just so she can say she's got a boyfriend, and that hurts him. So they do it to each other. It's an endless cycle of pain, and neither of them handle it very well whatsoever, but again, still rooting for them both. So let me tell you some of my funniest parts. It's mainly Magnolia, the way she talks. Like, to be fair, it does also help that I am physically reading this, but every now and then I have the audiobook in, and the narrator who does Magnolia's chapters is so dry and funny. Stunning. The BJ chapters I could read without the audiobook. They don't add much to the story, I don't think, but wow, Magnolia, stunning. So let me just tell you, we're on page 12, okay? We're starting off strong, and it's just like, I could have tagged this pink for humour, but also peach for character, because Magnolia has just bumped into her ex-boyfriend, not BJ, just a random ex-boyfriend, and he's with another girl, and they've literally just broken up. And she says, "I give the girl he's with a cursory glance. Hello, I'm so sorry, I'm Magnolia." And then I look at Brooks, the ex-boyfriend. And what the fuck is this? I ask, hands on my hips, "You're here with another girl?" I love that she is like furious with her ex-boyfriend Brooks, but she still has like poise, grace, and manners to be like, "Hello, I'm Magnolia." Honestly, so funny. So she just like steamrolls over to them, and she's like, "What the fuck is going on?" But she's like, "Sorry, hi, I'm Magnolia, nice to meet you. What the fuck?" Honestly, it's so Blair coded. So again, we're still in the same place with the ex-boyfriend and the new girlfriend, and basically he is trying to wind BJ up by saying, "Oh, she loves my dick," basically. And she's like, "That's factually inaccurate. They're her actual words." And he's saying like, "Yeah." And she says, "Not true. That it's, well, I'm sorry to say, it's actually somewhat underwhelming, to be honest with you." I give the new girl an apologetic look. Hang on. "It's actually somewhat underwhelming" is the funniest thing anyone could possibly say in an argument. That is brilliant. Honestly. Pause. Next we have a text conversation between Parks and her nanny, Marcelly, and she's saying like, "I can't believe you've got this new boyfriend." Again, she's got this new boyfriend, but it is the fake dating trope. Anyway, fake boyfriend is called Tom, and he's in on it, like he knows his fake boyfriend. He's also using her like as a beard. I think I said that earlier. So she's texting Parks and she's like, "I can't believe you're with Tom, blah, 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 blah. You've never mentioned him before." And she's like, I'm very private these days." And Marcy's like, "No, just 2 days ago you told me about a very graphic story about you and BJ having sex on a boat." And she's like, "I did that for you because you don't have so much going on. Like, when was the last time you had sex?" And Marcy says, "When was the last time you had sex?" And she says, "Marcy, that's so terribly rude. How vulgar." Why is she's so funny. She's just Blair. These are text messages from Blair I'm reading right now, and I love her. I love the way she's just like, "How dare you?" That's so inappropriate, even though she has asked her. Okay, another Parks moment. Maybe I'm just a really big Parks fan. So at one point, Tom comes into her bedroom and sees her in bed with BJ. They sleep together, as in like they rest. They sleep next to each other all the time because they are each other's comfort person. And Tom walks in and he's like, obviously they're fake dating, so he can't be mad about it. But BJ doesn't know that they're fake dating, so I don't know. He also kind of has some feelings mixed up in there, I think. So I don't know whether he's genuinely mad about it. He seems quite jealous. But BJ leaves and Parks is like, "Sorry, this is just a thing that we do. We just like sleep in the same bed." And he's like, "That's so weird." And she gets all kind of like, "Hey, that's not weird." And she's like, "Oh, all right, okay." I roll my eyes. Like, "You're so perfect. You're like that. You have that. You're just so with your your hair's parted weird." Why? She's so funny. She kills me. How long have I been yapping for? Why doesn't my camera tell me that? Oh, it does. 15 minutes. Okay. Okay, let's talk about the romance. Okay, I found this bit quite not profound, let's not get ahead of ourselves, but quite an interesting perspective. So we're on a Magnolia Parks, whatever you want to call her, chapter, and she's talking, well, it's narration. She's narrating about how BJ cheated and how that doesn't take away the love she has for him. So she said, I was still broken and I was still sad and I still didn't trust him how I used to trust him. But I think at one point I loved him more than he hurt me. And it sort of began to feel stupid to me to love someone how I loved him and to throw it all away because he had sex with someone else one time. I'm not belittling that, by the way, is what she said straight after. But it was the, at one point I loved him more than he hurt me was so beautiful in its simplicity, because yeah, they've been friends all their life. They've built this incredible foundation, and yes, he did a really, really horrible, fucked up thing and like ruined their friendship, ruined their relationship, but she still loves him as a friend, as well as like, you know, they've got feelings there too. And I just thought that was a very interesting take on it. Okay, I'm gonna possibly stop reading the romance ones and then we'll get to the sad bits. So in this part, Parks is recounting the time that he came over and told her that he had cheated on her. Basically, he's like, I won't give you the full quote, but he says, I've done something, and she's like, what do you mean? And he's like, I've done something wrong. Okay, I said. My voice was small, so much smaller than I knew it could ever be, and there was a pit that had begun to grow in my stomach, like a sinkhole opening up in the centre of me. I could feel it coming before he said it. I slept with someone. The sinkhole opening up. Oh my god, can you not just feel that? I can feel that. I can feel that. I don't want to read you them all because they're just sad because I find them sad, and that maybe won't translate as well when I read them out. Like, it's like, you've got to be there sort of thing. The context is important. Oh, at one point, who calls him out on this? Her sister. Her sister. Parks' sister calls BJ out on why he does what he does, and it was so impressive. Damn, that woman is clever. So, she says, you have sex with other people and tell her, because when you do, it makes her sad. And her being sad about that validates your feelings for her. She still cares. She wouldn't be sad otherwise. She's sad that I'm sleeping with other people. It must be because she still has feelings for me. You do it to feel close to her. I tapped that and was like, wait, what? That's so true, because I couldn't really work it out. I was like, why does he keep sleeping with people when he wants to be with her? If he just stopped, like, they could probably get back together. But that's so true. He does it just to, like, test the wound almost. Like, have I mentioned I broke my foot? I'm such a fucking broken record as well. And I kept, like, when it was in, like, the really bad stages of, like, it really, really hurt every time I moved, I would still spread my toes just to see if it still hurt. And I'd be like, ow, oh my god, yes, it hurts. Ow! You know what I mean? It's just something you do. And that's so true, that's what he's doing. Okay, I'm not going to read everything, but I do want to get to one specific part because it crushed me. Oh, I'm really sad about this. Okay, so I had a feeling, and I was kind of annoyed as I was getting up to this, like, big moment, because I was like, oh, I can guess what's going to happen. So it was quite obvious that Parks' dad was cheating, and I was like, oh, that's so annoying that's the twist, and I've already guessed it. But it's who he's cheating with. The mother-fluffing nanny, the only person, like the only adult, I guess, except for BJ, that has been there for Parks through her entire life, who has cared, who has like remembered her birthdays and celebrated who she is, and like remembered things about her. Her parents suck, they're terrible, but Marsley has always been like this steady, constant presence in her life. That's who is sleeping with her father. A married man, may I add. The betrayal is just like tenfold. Yeah, her dad's name is Harley, that bit's important. She says, I expect this shit from you, Harley, but you? Doesn't that make you so sad? Like, she knows that her dad's a cheater and is cheating on her mum, but she's just like, my parents suck. But you? Like, her one person? Crushed me, heart and soul.
I wanna hear your voice over the phone. Can I call you when I get back home? So we can talk about you and I. Or can you tell me what you wanna do? I'll do anything you ask me to, as long as I can spend the day with you. Lipstick left a mark on my cheek, so I keep thinking of you. Whoa, you wanna do it again? You wanna do it again sometime? Whoa, I see you again sometime? If you'll be standing by your door, I'll pick you up at 8. I said, whoa.
I have completed the book. I have probably some more tabs to read out to you now that I am more than halfway. I am all the way. I can see that the colour of my tabs changed dramatically. So at the start it was very purple and pink, which is romance and humour, and then towards the end we got very blue, which is sad, and very peach, which was this is very telling of your character. And speaking of the peach ones, there are a lot of moments, not a lot of moments, no. Some moments where I didn't like how BJ handled himself. Or Magnolia, actually. There is a part, and I won't be able to find it now off the top of my head, but there is a part where, to get him away from her, she puts the palm of her hand on his face and pushes it away. And okay, he was being quite annoying, but that feels aggressive. Unnecessarily so. And then at the very end of the book, he shoves her. And straight away, yeah, he's remorseful and he's like, oh my god, I hate myself. But you still shoved her. And if that's in your character somewhere, you're not really the kind of person that I'm rooting for. But before we get into the nitty-gritty, I will say I am going to rate it 4.5 stars. Can you actually believe it? Because I can't. It probably would have been a 5-star if it wasn't for those two, like, and it was just 2, I think, but just like little aggressive moments. I didn't like that. Like, the fact that this is a toxic romance, and I'm eating it up. I really enjoyed it, but I can't look past violence, even if it's tame and there's regret immediately after. It didn't sit with me, sorry. Just didn't sit with me, so it's being dragged down to 4.5, but 4.5 is still stunning. So let me see if there's anything specific I want to read out. I did not like Christian. I hoped we weren't supposed to like Christian whatsoever, because I tabbed 3 things on 2 pages, which was like, this is telling of your character, oh, this is telling of your character. So I know that she led him on, or he believes that she led him on, and she probably did, but you're telling me this man didn't realise what she was doing? So first of all, sir, your best friend breaks up with his girlfriend, or she breaks up with him, right? Whatever, they split up, but that's still your best friend. You immediately try to date her. Knowing how hurt she is by his actions, you will know that you're a rebound. Just apply some critical thinking here, sir. You are a rebound and you should be aware of it, and you shouldn't be dating your best friend's ex. So when he confronts her right near the end of the book and he's like, oh, I was in love with you, I'm in love with you, and she's like, yeah, I know, but sorry. He is really angry and she is kind. Like, she is worried that her friends, which by the way, this happens all the time, beat him up. I don't know why their friends are so aggressive with each other. They're not very good friends. But she's like, did they hurt you? And he's like, you did. And she's like, what? And he's like, I won't swear too much in this video, but he's like, F you, I really mean it. You're a bitch. For what reason? For being hurt and thinking that I'm ready to move on, really liking you, but realising I'm actually not ready to move on? For not sleeping with you? Like, what are we saying here, Christian? What are we saying with our words? And then he's like, I'm in love with you. And she's like, what? And then immediately he kisses her. And okay, she says it happens too quickly for me to stop it. I don't stop him, it's oddly familiar. So it's for sure a grey area on the consent thing. 1, 2, 3. There are 3 lines between him saying, you're a bitch, and kissing her. That's confusing. So she is just like bewildered, and this is very unexpected, and doesn't push him away. But I really don't think we've got enthusiastic consent here, Christian. I think you just threw yourself upon her, knowing that she's in love with somebody else. I think he's taken advantage. I did not like that at all. But that's good writing. As long as we're not supposed to like him, then it's good writing. I love her in a way I can't undo. BJ, that's so cute. I do like that whilst BJ is so remorseful for what he's done, and he says, like, I can stand here and tell you all the ways that I put us in the ground, he also says, but it wasn't all me. And that's so true. Because, okay, he did the initial fuck up, okay? He cheated on her. That is disgusting. Do not forgive. However, she immediately did every single thing she could to hurt him back and also keep him close at the same time. And these are teenagers. Let us not forget these are teenagers. So they are not fully developed and in control of their emotions. So that pain would be catastrophic. I can only imagine that pain would be catastrophic. So I do like that he also confronts her. He's very accepting of the fact, like, yeah, I did the really bad thing that set us off course, but you've been hurting me ever since, and I've been hurting you too. And initially she's like, no, that's not true. You did everything wrong, I did nothing wrong, which says a lot about her character too. So here is the part where he shoves her. And look, she is not at fault here at all. She is not faultless in this scenario. So it says, I'm in some sort of aggrieved shock, we'll get to why in just a minute, and suddenly I'm lobbing my hands at him, smacking him and hitting him. That is such unnecessary aggression. Like, I have never, okay, maybe I have felt it in me, but I have never, like, thrown hands at somebody because I'm that angry. You need to learn when to walk away. But then it immediately says, and he shoves me away from him. So I'm like, part of this is self-defense, he is being hit, but he is, it says throughout the whole book, he is strong, she is tiny, she's teeny tiny. Classic romance trope, it's fine. And to shove her, you know you're going to do some damage. And I know that, like, I'm guessing, like, in his mind, he's like, how do I get her off me? Like, she's making this so much worse. Shove. But what in your mind is like a put you at arm's length is maybe not. So neither of them are faultless in this scenario. It isn't just him being very aggressive and punching her. She is smacking him and he shoves her, but she does tumble over. We do get a turning point right near the end where Magnolia does say, like, they're kissing and they're back together, and she does say, his mouth on my skin is like snow falling onto water, and it's unforgivable of me really that I dragged other hearts into this. Good. We love a self-aware queen. However, we come to the last 10 pages and the plot twists. Now, I am not the sort of person that ever tries to figure out a plot twist. I don't want to know, I like the surprise. And I also don't often stumble upon what it is. I guess I'm not naturally speculating as to what a plot twist could be, but throughout the whole book you know he's cheated on her, but you don't know who with. She assumes it's one person, but he keeps saying it's not. So I did a couple of times think, oh, I wonder who it is. It must be somebody we know. I couldn't figure it out. I was like, oh, I guess I'll just wait and see. I did not at any point suspect the best friend. And maybe that's on me. Maybe I am not cynical enough. But what hurts me, and what is obviously been left in as a little Easter egg to really pack a punch when you find out, is that Magnolia says when she finds out that BJ cheated on her, her and her best friend cried together. Her best friend cried with her out of grief. But it wasn't out of grief for her best friend, it was out of shame. Shame! And I'm furious that it gets covered up by her friends and that it's never told to her. She's never told the truth until this moment when she is happy. She's let her guard down, she's forgiven him, and then she finds out. And she only finds out not because they tell her, but because she hugs her and she says, you smell nice. And she's like, oh, thanks, I haven't worn it in a while. And Magnolia's like, I know that smell. And she recognises the smell from what BJ smelt like when he cheated on her. She takes the chain with the ring off her neck and throws it. That's like, she didn't even do that when he cheated. That is the end. But anyway, it ends with her saying to the taxi driver, to Heathrow Airport. So I immediately purchased the second book in the series, or in the world, which is actually a Daisy Hates book. And we briefly mentioned Daisy Hates, but I can't really remember anything about her or anything specific whatsoever. So I'm kind of interested, I guess, to see another story in that world. But then I think the third book is then Magnolia Parks, then the fourth is Daisy Hates, and then the fifth is Magnolia Parks. So I am continuing with the series. I am dying to know what happens. It's a very awkward, it's difficult because I did see a review on Goodreads where somebody had directly asked the author, please tell me she doesn't end up with him, sort of thing, because like I need better for her. And the author responded and said, I think you'll feel differently the further you go on the series. So I'm curious to see, because I am rooting for them. I can't even tell you why, I just am. I do feel like at the core, they very, very, very much love and respect each other. Tell me why I feel like that, I don't know. Anyway, can't wait to read the second one. If you have read this book, let me know what you thought. I would love to hear all of your thoughts down below because I need to talk about this with somebody. But if you have read it, please leave comments down below. If you haven't, and you've listened to this spoiler-filled vlog, is it something that you would be interested in picking up, or are you watching because you have no intention of reading it? that's fair because I do that a lot. If somebody does a spoiler-filled vlog for a book that I have no interest in reading, I will watch that just to hear their thoughts. So let me know where you stand on Magnolia Parks and Jessa Hastings in general, because I know that they had a new release come out recently. I don't know if I'm going to step into another world of theirs, but for now, I rated Magnolia Parks 4.5 stars. I loved it. I loved Magnolia Parks. She was my favourite character. She's so funny, she's so graceful, and she is kind of messed up in all the best ways. Loved it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in a video very, very soon. Bye!
Let me show you a place where you gon' wanna move.